to welcome you on behalf of the Internet Society and to say that we really wanted to create an opportunity for members and chapters and Board of Trustees and the staff to have a moment to. That's why we have this new format here tonight. Just very briefly, we want to give you some information about a few of the key activities coming up, and we'd like to hear from you. So please keep enjoying, but I'm going to give the mic over to Raul Echevarria, the Vice President of Global Engagement. Thank you, Raul.
Good evening, everybody. I hope you are enjoying this. Definitely, I think that these kind of meetings are much better than the meetings that we used to have in the past. That's much more serious. Everybody sit around the big table. But of this opportunity to meet you to share some information. As Ayesha said when she introduced me, I'm the Vice President of Global Engagement at the Internet Society. I don't know how to explain that, but I think that global engagement is not only what my department does, but it's what everybody in Isoc does. We are more than. Please, I appreciate if you can help me a little. Okay. I promise that if you are silent, maybe we continue serving wine. So I was saying that global engagement is actually what 90 people that work for the Internet Society do every day, and we are everywhere, every time. And in fact, you can recognize me. I have met many of you in the last month in different parts of the world, in Sofia, in Bulgaria, in Sri Lanka, in Amsterdam, in other places that I have been in the last 40 days. And while I was traveling for some places, many other people was attending other meetings and engaging with local communities in different parts of the world. We are now in Latin America, and I would like Sebastian, where are you? Sebastian, are you there? Oh, okay, he's not here. Okay. Okay. So Sebastian is our regional bureau director for Latin America and the Caribbean. And let me tell you some of the things that we have been doing in Latin America in this year so far. And just giving a very brief summary. But one of the things, maybe you have seen the activity that we organized together with other partners today about IETF and promoting IETF in Latin America. We will have the first IETF meeting in Latin America in 2016. And good. So the Isoc has been working a lot in the last few years in promoting the participation of Latin American people in IETF, and we took it very seriously. And in fact, it's not what matters here is not the work that we have done, but what we have helped to create. And now the community has formed groups, working groups for promoting IETF participation. There are several programs, some of them run by us, some run by other partners organizations. And we are working very much in teaching to the people. We are seeing how the participation of Latin American community in IETF has been increasing along the time. And we are now trying to expand that to other regions of the world. So this is one of the things that we have been doing very successfully, I think, in the region. This year, the Sebastian teams will be involved in 10 IGF-like meetings in the region. We are supporting and participating very actively and taking some leadership roles in some cases and just supporting in others in 3 regional or sub-regional IGF meetings. And also we are key partners in the organization of 7 national IGFs in the region. This is really, I think, it's very important. We are committed in the strengthening of IGF. This is how we do that from the basis, from working from the field, from the ground, with the local communities. We have, this year we're working in 4 new initiatives of internet exchange points in 4 countries in Latin America and Caribbean. And this is not just, this is what is happening right now. This is, of course, we pretend continue working very, very hard in the near future. We have a new chapter, and I think that we have people here from Dominican Republic. This is the new chapter in the region. We have a total of 14 chapters in Latin America and Caribbean. This is great. This is really 14 chapters is a huge number for this region. But the good news is that we are working now with 4 new chapters that are information also in the region. That is really what is most impressive. But as I said, we are doing things every day in different parts of the world. And very recently, just a couple of weeks ago, we were in Tunis for the African Internet Summit, and our people was working very hard. We had a lot of people from our African chapters involved, taking leadership roles in different activities, speaking, moderating panels, and organizing activities around the African Internet Summit. And we had 14 people from our staff participating in that meeting, showing the commitment that we have with the development of the Internet around the world, but specifically in Africa in this case. We launched, during the African Internet Summit, we launched a very interesting report about Internet governance and development in Africa. I really recommend you to look for the report on our website, obviously internetsociety.org, and you will find this report, and the report is very interesting. You will find there a lot of interesting numbers and analysis of what's the situation of Internet in Africa. Just for giving some numbers, the Internet in Africa is growing very much. It was very good news. Now we have a 20% of average penetration of Internet in Africa. This is the good news. There are also some news that are not so good. There are some countries that are doing very well with the penetration of around 50%. Our community in Africa, our chapters, our members to continue working, because the work that we have to do is still very big. Let me tell you also that's the work that we are doing in gender issues. This is, as you know, the Internet Society is not one of the organizations that is leader in this field, but there are many other organizations that have played a very important role in gender issues on ICTs in the last few years. But now we are taking this very seriously. It's a high priority for Isoc to of ICTs by women around the world. And this is what we do. We are not only working in the empowerment of women and on ICTs, but also trying to tell the stories of women that are using technologies for improving their lives, and also women that are taking leadership roles in different aspects of this community. Just one example, we have been working in India in building wireless networks for communities in 10 villages in India, and we have been working with 4 women from each of those small villages, training them in how to use internet for improving their lives, and we are seeing that the results. People that used to have 0 income per month, and now they are earning money. It's $200 per month, maybe. That is what is a lot of money for them, just because they are buying and selling things, helping their community in accessing several services, e-government services, or booking travels and other kind of things. Those are the stories that we want to tell, and so we are my comments on this matter. We are very close to launch a new program that is named Beyond the Net. We are finalizing the details, and we hope that this program will be launched now in a few days when we hold this inter-community meeting. That's James will talk about that later. And this is a program for helping our chapters to run projects that have really good impact in the life of the people. And this is what we are looking for, the inspiration of our chapters for bringing the technology to solve real problems in the society, in the community. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you at this time. As I said at the beginning, this is what we do, is to work with the communities. You come from many different places from around the world. We are trying to work with you. We are committed to work with you in continue developing the internet, but not only developing the internet, but also ensuring that internet continue being a good platform for development, human, social, and economic development of our society. Working in developing an internet that could be a good platform for improving the exercise of the human rights. And now I would like to pass the floor to our colleague from UK, that is are thinking that's probably he's James Bond, but he's not James Bond. He's Good, James Good. So please let me introduce you, James Good. That is our Senior Director on Strategic Communications. So James, your turn.
Thank you, Raul, for that introduction. If I can just hold your attention for another few minutes. I can't sing, I can't dance, but I can tell you about intercommunity. And I guess some of you are eager to learn a little bit more about that event. So I wanted to just run through some of the basics with you, in actual fact. So what is intercommunity? Intercommunity is a global event, one-of-a-kind event for our membership. It's the chance that you have as a global community to come together and to talk about some of the current critical and important issues facing the internet. When is it? It's on 2 dates, 7th and 8th of July. Depending on where you are in the world, one of those days will suit your schedule. It spans several hours. It's everywhere. It's on the internet. Easy. How is it being run? It's being run in 2 ways, predominantly for participants. It's being run through a series of 15 nodes around the world. CDT. Alternatively, of course, you can participate online. Again, easy. And why are we doing it? And this is perhaps the bigger question. I think really there are 4 reasons why we're doing this event. We're bringing our global community together. We are stronger together, we know that. We're doing it to show our diversity, the difference in perspectives, but we're also doing it to show our commonality, to give us the opportunity to share perspectives, to learn from each other. And we're also doing it to highlight the power of the internet in connecting us. So I wanted to ask people in this room, or perhaps it's best with a show of hands, how many people have actually registered already for intercommunity? You put your hands up if you have, that would be super. That's great, that's a fair chunk of people, that's probably about 50% or so. I would encourage the remaining 50% to do the same thing. And if encouragement from me is not sufficient, then we have a short video to play with someone else who would also like to encourage you to register.
Hello, I'm Kathy Brown. I'm the CEO and President of the Internet
Volume.
Society. I want to take a minute to ask you to register for the first global meeting of the Internet Society. That will take place on July 7th and 8th of this year, adjacent to the Board of Trustees meeting, which is being held in Auckland, New Zealand. This meeting, which we call Intercommunity 2015, will not be in on the internet. The format of Intercommunity will allow you, wherever you are in the world, to join with other members of the Internet Society, as well as with the board, to talk about the urgent. As you know, we are at a critical time in Internet governance, in security and trust in the Internet, and in our efforts to ensure that every person in the world has access to the Internet. The meeting that we have planned will bring us all together to talk to each other, to debate the issues, and to use our collective strength to address these urgent issues and act. Please go online and take a look at what is planned. Look at the innovative design of this meeting and sign up. We look forward to seeing you at Intercommunity 2015.
As this round of applause, great. So as this meeting here this evening got underway, there were just over 1,200 people registered, I think 1,206. It's a great result so far, but everyone is invited. So the final point that I wanted to make is that, and I hope you've got the flavor of this from this evening, is that this global meeting is also intended to be fun. And we're demonstrating that in a number of ways, one of which is that to keep with the musical theme, you can actually choose the type of music that we play at the meeting in the breaks. So far, American jazz is up there at 21%. I'm not sure that would have been my first choice. I have voted. You're all invited to submit your votes to change the tune of the meeting. So, with that, I'm going to close. I'm going to say you are all encouraged to attend and come along, join in the fun at Intercommunity. We hope it will be a success. I'm sure it will. There's an ample opportunity to discuss the topics and the issues that are important to you, and we look forward to seeing you on the internet. I'll hand back to Raul. I think he wants to close.
Thank you, James. Before I want to introduce somebody on the screen, but before that, I want to recognize some members of the Board of Trustees of the Internet Society that are present in the room. And I have seen Rudy. Can you raise your there? Desiree, Walid, Walid, are you there? Okay, you have to stand. And I'm sure there are anybody else? John Lavin. Okay, John. Thank you. Now I have to use my glasses for that. Okay. Desiree over there. Okay. Alice is arriving there. Okay. Thank you for doing volunteer for working for serving in the Internet Society Board of Trustees. And I want to introduce a friend of mine. You have the picture? That's the, no? This is okay. No, that's okay. I want to introduce a friend of mine that is Babu Ram. Babu Ram is the president of the Internet Society chapter of Nepal. He's a wonderful guy. Many people here knows him, and he's really this kind of people that everybody like to know. And I was with him, other people here in the room, 1 week ago in Sri Lanka when we organized the regional, the Asian and Pacific regional chapters workshop. And it was incredible the energy that he created in the room, talking about the work that the Internet Society chapter of Nepal has done, trying to relieve the problems of the people after the huge earthquake they suffered a couple of months ago. And really now for our chapters in Asia, it is a priority to work in a more organized plans for dealing with this kind of situations in the future. So I want to show the video that we have showing what the people in Nepal is doing.
massive 7.8 magnitude earthquake hit Nepal on the morning of Saturday, 25 April, killing and injuring tens of thousands. Villages were flattened, buildings collapsed, and hundreds of thousands were left homeless or unable to return to damaged homes. This is Babu Ram Aryal, president of the Nepal chapter of the Internet Society. As he camped outside with his family, trying to sleep those first few nights after the quake, he couldn't help but think about how he could help with the recovery.
It became clear that Nepal chapter of Isoc needed to be part of next page in Nepal's history, rebuilding. There's so much to do. Power still hasn't been restored, communication towers are down, and infrastructure in some areas is completely destroyed. In remote parts of the country, Nepal police officers and rescue personnel have described their problems of not having access to electricity and being unable to charge their mobile devices to communicate effectively. This is where I knew that we could help. We started with small things. I was asked by the president of the ISP Association of Nepal to coordinate with the Ministry of Information and Communication to make sure they have a regular supply of fuel for their BTS tower to continue the internet service. The members of our chapter are very truly diverse, including bankers, lawyers, media persons, writers, software developers, technical experts, government representatives, and security personnel. There are many ways we can help. After a more than 2-hour drive from Kathmandu through villages like Sipagat Bazar, where almost all houses are leveled and what remains is clearly too dangerous to live in, we arrive in Botsipa, a tiny village where we deliver and install solar panels. Then we move to another village. We drive as far as we can, past mountains of debris and in constant fear of landslide. And when we can't drive any further, we walk. 30 minutes up the steep mountain slope to the village of Talamarai. There is no electricity and so far no attempts have been there to reconnect the village. People of the village take over and carry the solar panel and the heavy battery. We install the panel and a grateful village now has electricity. Our next trip to help Nepal get back online takes us to Bhumeshwar, formerly Charikot Bazaar. Although not as badly damaged as some places, many of the buildings is still standing in Bhumeshwar shows cracks. We install a Wi-Fi device on the roof of a concrete building near a cluster of tents. We visit a local radio station, Hamro Radio. Still stands, but the studio is moved to 2 tents because the building where the studio is located underneath the broadcasting tower shows cracks. In the tent, I met Lakshmi Baksnet, an 18-year-old newsreader. For checking news updates, we rely on internet, she says, and then we broadcast it via radio. The other internet services are often unreliable, so the free internet is important. The school ground is now also a tented camp for earthquake victims. One of them is Subhas Subedi. Subhas sits in his tent surfing the internet using a wireless connection to the mobile 3G network. It's expensive and he is pleased to hear that free Wi-Fi is on its way. The internet is keeping Nepal informed and in touch with friends and family. Society in Nepal still has much to do.
Thank you, Raul, for sharing that very inspiring effort by Isoc Nepal. Alejandra, you'd like to say something?
Alejandro Pisanti, very briefly. One of the strengths that video editing did not show is that a large number of chapters help Nepal, the Nepal chapter, in many ways. So some of us, for example, created an online by email emergency staff to which the regulator, the ISP association, and the chapter, and a few other businesses involved were brought together, and there were many others which I don't know the details of. But the whole society sprang up in a silent but very extremely effective way to support these guys, and they are true heroes that deserve all our respect.
Thank you so much, Alejandro, for sharing that with us. Indeed, we have a very wonderful internet society that we all are. And thank you for joining us this evening. It means a lot to us to be with all of you, and we look forward to seeing you online in July at Intercommunity and more further this week. So in the meantime, please enjoy. Thank you very much.